I could have kept going, but the song is 15 minutes long, and I know some people can't have. I don't want a 15-minute intro. I know some people can get away with a 5-minute intro or a 10-minute intro, but not me. I'm not one of those people. So, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream. I don't know why I keep doing like this with this hand when I could have just done this. It seems a lot more natural. I hope everybody has had a really decent Mother's Day or Sunday. I know I got depressed when there we go. I know I got kind of depressed near the end of yesterday's stream. Why? Because I love you all. And I love depression. I'm kidding, of course, but it just sort of happened because I was very, very tired. Oh, my nose. Hold on. Oh, my nose hurts. My nose absolutely hurts. But you know, it's whatever. Hopefully everybody's had a decent Mother's Day. Yeah, hopefully everybody's had a decent Mother's Day. Um, I called my mom. Yeah, I called my mom. Yeah, I called my mom. Not. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I called my mom. My boyfriend got her flowers from both of us. She got flowers. Um, yeah, she got flowers, and it was fine. You know, it was fun. Um, yeah, it's like yeah. Oh, my nose hurts. Why does my nose hurt so much? You know? Okay, it doesn't as much hurt as much there's something inside my nose. And no matter how much I can pick at it, it's always gonna be like, I'm gonna always do this. And it's like, do you have a cocaine addiction? And I'm always like, yes, I do. Um, but I don't. Um, but yeah, hopefully everybody's doing okay. I did start earlier than usual. I went to bed at a time, um, at a time. Yeah, I did go to bed at a time, so. Yeah, I did go to bed at a time, so that's fine. Um, I need to clean my glasses, but if I look at the rag, there's gonna be bits of hair, nose boogers, and of course, some dead things, some dirt, some dead dirt. My favorite Alice in Chains album, Dead Dirt. I really gotta stop playing with this. Um, so yeah, so just a few minutes ago, um, yeah, just a few minutes ago, my boyfriend told me that Jerry Seinfeld wants Michael Richards to be involved in something that he made, um, which I think is fine. I personally think is absolutely fine in my opinion. Yeah, I absolutely think it's fine. Um, because Michael Richards doesn't get much roles ever since Seinfeld left the air. Um, like he had a fair share of chances. Like um, Julie Louis Dreyfus got some chances to break out of the Seinfeld curse, and so did um, yeah, so did George Costanza's character, actor from Seinfeld. Um, Crumbs, I forgot his. How do I forget his name? That's insulting. I know Michael Richards. I know Julia Louis Dreyfus. I know Jerry Seinfeld, but I don't know. Jason Alexander, that's his name. Jason Alexander. Um, yeah, like Jason Alexander had many chances, and his sitcoms absolutely failed. But they're both really decent actors, and Michael Richards just got sort of the shaft, I guess. He got the shaft, and then there's that whole issue of him saying the N word many years ago, and nobody was willing to hire him. It's absolutely astounding how much people are just hypocrites at this point. Like, you're gonna blacklist somebody for saying the N word, which is bad. It absolutely is bad. You're doing it at a stand up comedy thing, which is absolutely bad, sure. But we're canceling somebody for saying the N word, and yet, like, other people who done way more get several chances, like Roman Polanski, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby. Well, I don't know if Bill Cosby is vindicated. Is a no, like Kevin Spacey. Um, Kevin Spacey had that trial, which yes, it was like he harassed so many, and it was assault all the way through. And yet he keeps getting work. Right, he got work recently, so it's like, yeah, but that's different. It's like, but Michael Richards, all he had was Kramer, and it's like, that's still not the point. I mean, he still got some work. Like, he was in B movie for like a scene or so. Like, that's pretty much why I wanted to watch B movie, to see where he would be in. Um, like, he was in B movie. He was in a Kirstie Alley. He was in a Kirstie Alley sitcom that only lasted one season, all the way back in 2010. No, 2013. You know, like, why not give him a chance? Like, it's and the last movie he was in 2019, called Faith, Love, and Hope, a movie that I know nobody knows about. Like, I absolutely know nobody actually knows that movie, you know? And also, before Seinfeld, he was in UHF, he was in Problem Child, he was in Coneheads, and So I Married an Axe Murderer, you know? So he was playing different characters before Seinfeld. So why not just let him play a different character now? Like, let him be a character actor. Like, I know, like, even like Jason Alexander had a career before Seinfeld, but then, as he stated later on, Seinfeld giveth and the show taketh away. Like, he's glad for his success on that sitcom. Um, Absolutely glad. The problem, the absolute problem he just ended up having was being typecast as George Costanza. But he was in a show called Listen Up with Malcolm Jamal Warner that lasted the season. It almost worked, but nobody actually watched. And then he was in Bob Patterson, which absolutely could have worked, but I guess it was too ahead of the time, you know? So, yeah, you could have still had Keith Richards, no, Michael Richards. Yeah, I would love to see Keith Richards and Seinfeld doing what Michael Richards does. Giddy up. um, but I would love to see him burst through the door high as crap. There is no way Keith Richards would be able to be in a sitcom and have that much physicality. Even in his 20s, Like, let alone now. But I'm pretty sure him and. Yeah, Michael Richards in his 70s and Keith Richards is like 80 something. So it's not that much of an age difference. In all time speaking. But it's like, okay, so, So you all just like call Robert Downey Jr. racist, because he accidentally snubbed K Huang's handshake accidentally. Accidentally he did it, and somehow people are just making that racist. And you're just gonna say that Will Smith's slap is gonna be the worst thing ever, and like you're willingly gonna give him a 10-year ban at the Oscars, even though he's not going to be at the Oscars 10 years in a row. But no, like saying the N word in a period of time before you could actually get canceled is like, whoa, that's a hot topic. And here's the thing, I was one of those people. I was one of those people who refused to watch Seinfeld because Michael Richards was in it. Um, then I moved on, you know? Yeah, I absolutely moved on. Like, no one is going to, like, stop watching Seinfeld after all these years, you know? What did some people probably do? Like throw away their VHS sets? No, their VHS copies of certain episodes that they would watch. And it's like you're pretty much overreacting. It's not like he hurt anybody. He did offend people, but let's see. He apologized many, 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 many times, and yet some people are refusing to forgive him. So Dave Chappelle can make transphobic jokes, and people are going to be like, yeah, but it's satire. Um, okay, no, absolutely not. He gets to make transphobic jokes, and some people are like, yeah, but he's a comedian. He's still the GOAT. So that's okay. Apparently, that's okay. So punching down is okay, but saying the N word out loud, um, and just so happens that somebody caught it on their camera phone, you know, you would think that some people would absolutely get over that. Um, yeah, some people would probably get over that, but it's like, no, we're just going. It's like, all we had is Seinfeld and that's it. And it's like, well, it's sad. Like, he stopped doing stand up in 2007 because of that incident. And I do like the parodies. Every once in a while, I would watch the stand up, him um, saying stand up, Like him doing that Laugh Factory incident. And a sick part of me laughs because it's so over audacitated. It's like, yeah, it's bad. Like, it's offensive, but for some reason, the darker side of me just finds it funny. I don't know why, but like, it's absolutely funny to me. It's straight up audastic, but you know, I don't know. Some dark part of me is just laughing at it even to this day. Um, like, does he deserve to be 100% forgiven? Ah, I absolutely do know. What I do know is that he apologized enough to actually like go into it, like try to be forgiven. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad person. It was just an outburst. It was absolutely just an outburst. And I know some people still won't forgive him, and that's fine, but you'll forgive somebody else, another actor who has a long list of sexual assaults. You'll forgive them. And I know what some of you are thinking, and my boyfriend said this. All those other people have talent, and Michael Richards only has Seinfeld. And it's like, why not? So you barely gave him a chance then. Like, Seinfeld ended in 1998, and then about, when did the incident happen? 2006? Like, um, yeah, 2006 was the Laugh Factory incident. And in between that, he had what? One show? Like, one show. right, one show after Seinfeld. Let me see. 1998. He had David Copperfield, and no, he only had one show after Seinfeld. And it was the Michael Richards show, which apparently at first he actually played a completely odd character. He played a character that was not Kramer. He actually played a different character, but apparently for some reason it just became like, um, like apparently test audiences' expectations for Michael Richards doing something new, test audiences didn't like that, so like apparently the network was like, we're gonna share characteristics um with Kramer. Like his character in the Michael Richards show is gonna share characteristics as um Cosmo Kramer, and it's like, okay, then what's the point? Why not? You might as well just make a spin-off, you know? Yeah, just make. Why not make a spin-off? It's um yeah, just make the spin-off, like make a Kramer spin-off. Um, you know? Like you had something right there. Like just have him be an eccentric detective. Like we've had some over the years. Like didn't we have shows like Psych and Monk? And yet the Michael Richards show is just too much. Like some people just don't want change, you know? And like it's really sad about what happened. Like the public turned on Michael Richards immediately. And I'm not saying that I did that. I did do that back then, but I'm like, I'm I'm an adult. I actually think that he should have gotten much media roles. Jason Alexander had some media roles after Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld went back to stand up. Julia Reed Dreyfus, we all know now because she's in The New Adventures of Old Christine, Veep, etc. She's in Marvel things now. And Larry David was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, like pretty much like the darker side of Seinfeld in a different form. Like, Curb Your Enthusiasm is if Jerry Seinfeld left the writer's room and stopped being a head writer for the last two seasons of Seinfeld. Like, if the last two seasons of Seinfeld are pretty much like lighter and softer, then if Seinfeld for left the writer's room and Larry David was the only head writer, then it would have turned into Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, there was going to be this darker edge that would slowly creep, you know? Like, everybody else had some meaty roles. Even Patrick Warburton didn't even suffer from the curse. Like, Patrick Warburton, hold on. He ended up being on... Let me see something, because let me check something about it. Patrick Warburton was in Seinfeld as well. Like, he was, let me see. Damn it, where is it? Elaine Bennett, David Puddy. Yeah, like, David Puddy was, Patrick Warburton played David Puddy, and it was beginning at 1995. He was only in 10 episodes. Patrick Warburton was only in 10 episodes, and people knew him along the way. People knew him as Puddy for a long while. And then the year after Seinfeld ended, he ended up being in Family Guy. And he was also in The Tick. And he's also in a bunch of things. And yet, people were like, no, but Kramer said the N-word. But you're okay with other actors who have been abusive and have a long history of abuse. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fair. You know? Um, but yeah, Hollywood can be hypocritical, but some other people outside of Hollywood are absolutely the same. I'm not sure. I think that's. Oh, that's horrifying. Do it again. Um, nope. No, you're not. You are not getting off this easy. Um, but it's sad that some people would rather just be like, but, it's like, but, they deserve a second chance. Like, you know, yeah, some people just don't want to watch an actor anymore. They just choose, and then they're just surprised that that actor is bad. Like, Michael Richards absolutely apologized over and over again. And yet some people are like, no, but all you had was Seinfeld, and you said the N word. Yeah, well, there was blackface going on, and yet you're nobody else. Let me see. Let me. Yeah, some people are just hypocrites. It's quite sad, really. Um, but yeah, yesterday my boyfriend and I watched the sixth episode of Fallout. Um, yeah, I gotta say, it's absolutely going strong. Like, um, yeah, it absolutely is really good, and still, it's real pace. Like, I was surprised about what happened, what was going on about 35 or 40 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, like, I was just, like, on the edge of my seat. Um, I only played Fallout 76 for just, like, a couple of, like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, because I don't know. I don't know why, but it just happened. Don't tell me it didn't happen. I saw it happen. Um, oh, my nose hurts. Not hurts, but I swear if I pick at it, something's gonna come out, and there's gonna be a huge nose hair. Like it's gonna be a big nose hair, and it's like that's disgusting. And then once I do this, like I sniff, a small crusty thing is gonna come out of my nose, and I'm gonna hear it. Like it's happened to me before on stream. Like something came out of my nose, and I heard it land, and I'm like, delicious. I'm kidding, of course. Um, but I went to sleep at around 1 because I was on DJ Alpha Omega's Discord server, and yeah, just showing Princess Bride again. I was watching Princess Bride with them, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It was a last minute thing, but that's fine. I can't wait to see what other movie it's gonna be. Um, yeah, like I can't wait to see what's next on that server. Like, what is next on that server, and why? I don't know. What? Yeah, I don't know what's next on that server. But still, I can't wait. Because for some reason, I can watch a video essay that's an hour long, but for some reason, movies just lack interest of me. Um, yeah, they absolutely make me lack interest in a lot. You know? Excuse me. I burped, and I hate that. I keep burping. It's not fair. I'm ruining everything. Oh, and before that, like after the stream, after yesterday's stream, I ended up watching Ghostbusters. Okay, yeah, I ended up watching Ghostbusters, and it was so. Yeah, it goes to show you that that movie is great, but is it really worth fighting for in terms of the 2016 Ghostbusters ruined my childhood? Like I'm gonna quote. I'm absolutely gonna quote. I'm actually gonna quote a podcast I used to listen to. Um, they are not ruining your childhood. They are helping somebody else shape theirs. You know, your childhood is over. If you actually say that your childhood is over, chances are that if you're actually saying that your childhood is ruined, is it actually going back in time and ruining it for you? Because let me tell you something. Even some things in your childhood, some other people are just gonna say what you liked ruined their childhood. You know? So you can't even say that at all. Like again, the only person who can willingly say that my childhood was ruined is Jake Lloyd. You know, like Jake Lloyd is from like the younger Anakin Skywalker from Episode One. He can say that his childhood was ruined because he was bullied in element when he was a child for being in a Star Wars movie. He's pretty much the only person who I could absolutely understand as to why, you know, as to why his childhood was ruined. Like that's one thing. But saying that your childhood was ruined because they remade a show that you liked as a child. Here's the thing. I used to have the box set of the Powerpuff Girls because I liked them. And when the Powerpuff Girls remake actually came back, or Powerpuff Girls was remade, I was like, probably not going to be for me, but it's not going to ruin my childhood like so many people have heard. I heard the show was absolutely hit or miss or whatever, but I don't care. I just went on with my life because so many things have been remade. Um, to the point where some people actually think that remakes are only happening recently, even though a movie like True Lies, which came out in 1994, was a remake of another movie. Um, what was it called again? True Lies came out in 1994, and it was based on a French comedy called La Tatole from 1991, like 3 years apart. So, yeah, remakes have always been a thing. Like, always. So, the reason people are complaining now is because, people are like, Hollywood is out of good ideas. It's like, remakes have always been a thing, sequels have been always a thing. Like, the Rambo sequels, the Rocky sequels that declined or fluctuated in quality. Are you telling me that you're not okay with endless remakes and sequels today, but you were okay with them back then? You know? Like I agree some sequels should not have been made, like the Ghostbuster sequels. Like I said on DJ Stream, or like Kitten Tiramisu said, like the cartoon was probably better, and I'm like, why not just make cartoons of Ghostbusters? Like the Ghostbuster cartoons are better than any of the sequels. The first Ghostbusters was real lucky because it was lightning in a bottle. Like it was the perfect time. They couldn't even do that with the second one because it was essentially the same first movie over again, except some of the characters are a lot worse for it. Yes, there's some different aspects, and it is somewhat more creepy, but I genuinely have a hard time stomaching that second one because it has the same issue as Men in Black 2. Like, the first one was so fresh and so creative. It was absolutely so fresh and really creative to that fact. And then the second one is just a rehash of the first one. And like the third Ghostbusters was a game and it was a lot better. And the third Men in Black movie was pretty much really, really decent because there was like emotional value. It was different, but it was funny and it absolutely had a different feel, you know? It had a different feel to it. Um, and it was very emotional and very pretty much bittersweet. Like, I remember complaining that there was a third Men in Black movie because I was I was I was a very angry person back in the day. So I'm like, this movie's gonna suck because it has Pitbull in the theme song as opposed to Will Smith. Even though, well, I pretty much realized later on that Will Smith is more into movies than music because movies pay more better. You know, movies absolutely pay more better for him. So it's like, why just, you know, why go back to a place where it has less money? You know, so that's totally fair. I was just complaining, you know? But you know what the difference is? I pretty much kind of grew out of it. Like, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about these endless sequels. I ignore them. Like, honestly, there is much more, you know? There are much more other movies out there. Like, a lot more. Yeah, there are a lot more better movies out there than you would think. But some people are just like in that bubble where it's like, but but yeah, it's like there's so many other movies, and then there's so many endless sequels or remakes, and it's like, okay, here's some other movies, and people are like, and I get it, but still, you know, people would rather complain than see something original. Let's absolutely be honest. A lot of us will complain about sequels, but not say anything or see anything original. Or even look for it. Like the We Hate. I listen to We Hate Movies. They actually have a what was it called? A Monday live stream where they talk about the box office of the week and what was it called? Not only the box office, but newer movies that are coming out because of trailers. That's how pretty much I know about it. So it's like, yeah, I know about it like in a way. Um, hold on. I thought somebody was talking. I'm like, did the moment I actually get up from the chair, you all saw my underwear? Oh no. This is not OnlyFans. I'm kidding. This is definitely OnlyFans. But it's it's kind of sad that some people are just going to like go ahead and do that, you know? Um, but yeah, watching that Ghostbusters movie, we all discussed how interesting it was and how creative it was. And then the second one just looked so tiring, you know? That second movie was so tiring to watch, just like Men in Black 2, you know? My part of me should have just taken a shower beforehand, but ugh. There was even a nose hair in my nose. I pulled out a nose hair and it was disgusting. Um, disgusting. Whoa, 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 whoa. Suffice to say, some people should just stop complaining and look deeper. Or just not watch another movie again. That's totally fine. Never watch a movie again. Because at the end of the day, isn't that all about? Isn't that what it's all about? Life is about hating, like sticking to it and hating one common thing. I don't know what it is, but still, yeah, I have absolutely no idea what it is. But it is me after all. Like it is me who's saying this after all, and no one's gonna actually listen to me because I'm a trans girl on Twitch. Even I wouldn't listen to me. But yeah, yeah, it's fascinating how some people are gonna be like, well, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. Um, Hi, Mighty Collector. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. How was the rest of your stream? I know you were streaming for about 4 hours. Would you like a shout out? And if you absolutely need to go to bed, go to bed. because I was there for the last 40 or so minutes. Um, I was lurking. I went to bed and then I lurked when I turned the TV back on. So if you need to go to bed, go to bed. And it's totally fine. I can't blame you because I would like but if you need to go to bed or you need to because like you rated Garrett. Yeah, I was there. I was there. But thank you for stopping by. Oh my nose. Thank you for stopping by. This is not the sort of stream that people would come by at, but I'm okay with it. The reason why I'm doing this every day is because my boyfriend told me to, or my boyfriend made me promise. So I'm still pretty worn out, but I still have things to do before bed. It's totally fine if you're worn out and you have stuff and things to do. Go do them. Don't hang around here. Like, Mighty, it's okay if you need to hang around, if you want to hang around, but if you're worn out and you have things to do, go. It's totally fair, you know? Like, just because I'm on, like, I've I've talked to myself with no like, I remember like I remember a few years ago I was talking to the chat and nobody was talking for an hour, and I was okay with it. I was in the pocket, or I was pretty much in the zone, and it's a surprise that somebody showed up. You know, so I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I'm pretty much okay if you need to do things before bed, and if I don't see you again, have a good night. I enjoy your stream and I enjoy your community. And again, thank you for shouting me out 4 hours ago. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. I should have, like, in hindsight, even though I should have actually started streaming 5 days a week, I just like doing 6 days a week because, some people aren't able to stop by on a weekend. So I'm like, okay, 6 days a week. I'm very okay with it. I don't know why I said very. Um, yeah, it's impressive or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, sometimes it is exhausting. Um, it's pretty worn out. Yesterday's stream, I ended up being very, very tired afterwards. And I immediately went to bed. Okay, not immediately. I was on a couple of channels and then I went to bed. Yeah, good times. I really gotta stop playing with this because I'm this D20, this huge D20, which I keep playing with whenever I'm here or whenever I have a therapy session. And it's not even mine. It's mine now. Well, it is mine now. It's my boyfriend's, and I'm like, I'm taking this, and now I have it. I don't even want him to have it, even though it's his. Yeah. I found it hilarious. I'm sick. Yeah, I found it absolutely hilariously sick. Not like, oh man, I'm just all over the place. Um, yeah, but hopefully everybody else is doing okay. Happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day. Um, yeah, happy belated Mother's Day. Um, here's the thing, like, I was on a couple of chats and I was talking about how I don't really have a goal in life. Like, some people are like, why don't you do Twitch? And I'm like, I don't have the ability to be only on Twitch. I need to actually have a job, you know? Like, being on Twitch a lot is fine, but I need income, because the income on Twitch, what if it's not enough? I am not a partner or whatever. Like, I will never be a partner on Twitch because nobody wants to see a trans black woman who is bisexual doing just chatting streams. They'll see anybody else, but nobody really is asking for that. Like, I'm no Willow, but it's whatever. Um, she has talent. Like, yeah, she has talent. And me, I'm just here. On a weekday at 4 a.m., which not many people will go for. It's like, when are your streams? How come I keep missing them? Well, yeah, my streams are very, very early in the morning. So if you want, you can come on in or just watch the VODs. Watch the VODs, that's all you have to do. Or whatever. Or just, not watch. Yeah, just not watch. It's totally fine. Totally fine if you don't watch. Um, like, I wouldn't watch me most of the time. Some people are just listening. Some people absolutely are still listening, but, I don't know what to say. You know? Um, yes, I don't know what to say. Um, Mostly due to the fact that I have major dysphoria. I have absolutely major dysphoria. Um, yeah, I have major dysphoria because, yeah, I mentioned it before, but I don't think I should again. Um, yeah, it's insane. Um, but also, like, speaking of people getting several chances, like, Diddy has been, like, yeah, I don't know, P Diddy actually has been, like, is a bad person, allegedly, and yet he still gets chances, you know? And people are like, hey, wait a minute. It's like, people are actually offended that he's, like, gay or whatever, and I'm like, so the fact that he took money out of people he was managing is okay, but him having rumors of being gay is too much for you? Is is that something that you would rather have? It's that's pretty exhausting. That's absolutely exhausting. Um so you're just going to yeah, so you're just going to go through hoops. Hi, Blopsy. How are you? Welcome on in. I hope you're doing okay. Happy belated Mother's Day. But how are you? It's been a hot minute. Busy with homework? Absolutely. Go ahead and lurk. Um, Lurkers are. I don't want to. Everybody knows that lurkers are the backbone, but I'd rather not. Like, I feel like I'm patronizing certain people. Yeah, I feel like I'm patron. Whenever I feel like I'm about to say that, I kind of find it sometimes that I'm probably not saying it with sincerity, or I'm probably patronizing, because it's like, they're the backbone, and I feel like it's patronizing for some lurkers. So I usually say enjoy your lurk instead, you know or just say thank you for the lurk, like saying you're the backbone of Twitch, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, but I don't think some lurkers want to hear that, you know? Um, but yeah, it's absolutely fascinating how now P. Diddy is actually in trouble right now. But some people are just, like, offended that he might be queer. Is that a thing? Some people are just, like, upset that he's just queer or whatever. pretty sure that like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that can't be. That's not it. We are the muscle lifting. We are the muscle lifting. The stream up. Yep, go for it. Absolutely go for it. You know. Oh no, is he guilty of being queer? Not particularly. It's just that some people are just like, yeah, some people are just kind of offended that he's queer, but he's not. You know, like he has so much misconduct allegations, and yet some people just spread the rumors that he's gay. I don't think he is. Yeah, I don't think he is. Um, yeah, there was rumors that Diddy is gay, and I'm like, okay, that's a rumor. You know, there's a like it has to be confirmed, like out of the mouth of him, like. But I'm not sure. No, I don't think he's queer. You know, I don't think he's gay or bisexual. I'm pretty sure he's straight, but you know, some people are just like offended because of that. Even though like he has taken money out of the mouths of people he's managed, he's had sex allegations about him, alleged allegations. But no, it's just like you're just going to go through the important stuff. Like here's the thing. It's one thing to be offended um when you're using it as an excuse. Like remember when Kevin Spacey had all of that all the controversy with his sexual abuse and everybody was rightfully attacking him, and then Kevin Spacey actually came out as gay, and it's like, hey, you could not have timed it any worse. You just kind of, yeah, you could not have timed it any worse. That means you're making an excuse, and you're making everybody who is gay look bad because of it. It's like, yeah, I'm gay, and it's like, well, you're being accused at the same time. So some people are just going to assume that gay people are like Kevin Spacey, which, no, no, absolutely not. That's kind of offensive. You know, I'm pretty sure he still has that tweet. Does he still have that tweet? Let me check something. He still has his Twitter account. That's insane. Um, he's tweeted more than. I'll be honest. He's tweeted more than I thought he would. Oh, like it's right here. Like it's even right here. Hold on. Like he still has it up. It's been since Halloween Eve 2017. He still had it up. Like it's insane. Like it absolutely is insane that he still has this up after all these years. And yet people are just going, and then here's the thing. People are actually saying that he's like joy that he won. It's like, no, he's absolutely reprehensible. Your career is over, and then all of a sudden, like these check marks are like, I wish you joy, I wish you happiness. But still, it's off. It's completely off, in my opinion. Bisected, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. Did I say okay? I did not mean okay. Oh gosh. In the immortal words of Kirby, hi. Um, would you like a shout out? Would you like a shout out? Why do I keep playing with this? I'm genuinely amazed that Kirby doesn't talk. Okay, let me give you a shout out. If you're not following Bisected Brioche, please go follow her. She is absolutely the bee's knees. She streams 3 to 4 days a week. Occasionally, she will She will stream a game with his cursedness. I'm not bad Monday, so back to apartment hunting. Mondays. And Tiefling cosplay and New Vegas. Yes! Bisected is going to play New Vegas. You should all go. Go right now. Stop watching me. Go right now. I'm kidding. She's not streaming right now. She'll be streaming in about 12 hours. 10 out 10 hours. She'll be streaming in 10 hours. So please go follow her. I'm pretty sure everybody here is following her, but please do it. Um and wish her luck on apartment hunting because apartment hunting is difficult and I wish you the best. You know? Absolutely wish you the best on apartment hunting because it is 8 hours. Okay, 8 hours. Okay, 8 hours. 8 hours, that's fine. Ah. Okay, I did something stupid while I was doing yoga 4 hours ago? Yeah, 4 hours ago. So I was doing a position and then I rolled over of just like instead of just like going on my hands and like rolling on my back, I actually just rolled over and I cracked my shoulder, which is nothing happened. It's just like I'm not doing that again. Um, yeah, I'm never gonna do that again. Um, but yeah, yeah, like I love how I'm still doing yoga exercises after all these years. All these years I'm still doing yoga exercises. It's fascinating, you know? Um Tell me it's over. Um but my god. I'm just going to say my god. Some people deserve second chances for something relative and some people do not deserve it and yet people are like, "Yeah, you're back." Again, I was talking about how Kevin Spacey is acting again, and yet he does more damage than Michael Richards, who said the N word years ago. Yes, it was bad, but at least he had the decency to apologize to everyone. And yet, some people are just like, yeah, you went too far. But an abuser, somebody who abuses women and men, oh yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine for you. You know, that's absolutely okay. Yeah, some people are just kind of hypocrites at this point. Not to mention, like, yeah, saying that the Will Smith slap traumatized you. Like some people say that did, and it's like, I'm never gonna watch a Will Smith movie again. I'm like, I highly doubt that. Because you're the same people who say that you are never gonna watch another Robert Downey Jr. movie ever again. Like, you're one of those people. Yeah, you're absolutely one of those people who would say that. Um, just because he accidentally snubbed somebody at the Oscars. Kei Hwan. Even though backstage, Robert Downey Jr. actually shook his hand and apologized. I assume apologized because they actually took a picture of them, so there's no hard feelings. Yet some people are like calling RDJ racist. Okay, okay, then fine. Boycott his movies. I dare you. Because he has enough money, he's already getting paid. And as far as I know, Robert Downey Jr. is not racist. As far as I know. He had some skeletons in the closet, but as far as I know, he's not racist. And some people are still trying to cancel him over Tropic Thunder, despite the fact that Tropic Thunder was making fun of method acting, and blackface is pretty much kind of the way to go, showing that method acting can go way too far. And uh-oh, Jared Leto's still here. You don't say crap about him. Some people just say that he is absolutely stunning or handsome, despite the fact that he has a cult, despite the fact that he is a complete a hole on set because he's playing characters. Like on Morbius, he was in a wheelchair because his character was. And I'm like, okay, what? You know, you don't have to be in the wheelchair, just act, you know? And also on Suicide Squad, he was the Joker offset. And according to one of his co-stars, he was pretty much like, and I'm like, yeah, because Joker, all he did was laugh. Like, he killed people, he threatened people, but yeah, instead he's just like laughing and sending dead insects to people. And it's like, okay, so your Joker is not so much actual Joker as much as a pranker, like someone who pranks people wearing clown makeup. I mean, that's Jared Leto anyway, but you know, whatever. Um, but you know who actually was a good Joker? Heath Ledger. Like, he had method acting abilities, sure, but the reason why he worked is because he wasn't the Joker off camera. He did his research. He worked on the voice. He actually did his research by like keeping a journal before he started shooting for The Dark Knight. And a lot of people commended him to this day for that role because of how much he prepared in it. And hell, even whenever the cameras weren't rolling, he was still talking to his daughter. He was like, apparently there's like a picture, I don't know if it's photoshopped, but he skateboarded over Batman while Batman was on the ground. And so you can be a method actor. Method acting involves being involved in the character, not staying in character. You know, Chadwick Boseman, for his one and only Black, no, when he was playing Black Panther, he had that dialect. He actually still had that accent right down because he was even talking in that accent even when the cameras were not rolling. So he would not lose that accent. He was still him, but he did not lose that accent. Like, method acting is not an excuse for you to be an asshole. You know Jared Leto? You know Dustin Hoffman from Kramer versus Kramer? You could absolutely have the emotion. You just don't need to act like your character off camera. Like, why not? How, like, there's that old saying, why not just method act as an actual person, like a normal person or a nice person, or at least be nice, you know, at least be a nice person off camera. Don't bring your homework with you. That's pretty much what the director of Misery told Kathy Bates. Like, it's an intense character, but the director's like, do not take this character home with you. Like, just show up to set and get into the head of the character for the shooting day and then rest. You know? Like, that's pretty much why Daniel Day-Lewis, as far as we know, retired from acting. Because he was so into method acting and he does so much. And he's one of the most critically acclaimed people in terms of acting. And it takes so much out. Like, he's only been in, what, 10 movies at least? And, yeah, after a lot of method acting, like, he pretty much kind of gets it, you know? He goes into the role, but he's still himself even if the role calls for it. You know? Even off camera, he's still with the accent. Like, remember when Christian Bale actually won an Academy Award? And people were shocked about his accent? That's because people thought he was American. People didn't know he was not American. People thought he was. Isn't he Welsh? Like, isn't Christian Bale Welsh? Let me see something. Christian Bale, actor. Let me see. He's English. He's from Wales. Haverford, West Wales. That's where he was born. I just find it fascinating. Like a lot of people, I was shocked about it. I was genuinely shocked that people were shocked that he wasn't American. He has so much, like, he's died for his art. He's changed his voice. He's changed his hair. He's changed his body. And, like, that takes a lot. Like, anybody remember The Mechanist or The Machinist? Where he was pretty much starving himself to the point of, like, Holy Mother of God. That looks absolutely painful. And yet he was still acting up a storm. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason people actually watch The Machinist, because of Christian Bale and what he did for that role, how he got into it. And he said that it was pretty much like, had that sense of calm throughout. And apparently, even after that, was Batman. So, yeah, you can actually, like, method act. You just can't method act as a total douchebag. Like, again, Dustin Hoffman in Kramer versus Kramer. You know, um, he abused Meryl Streep, absolutely. Like, she mocked her recently deceased um, partner, John Cazale, the uh, Greedo, not Greedo, one of the characters from the first two Godfather movies, and he was in Dog Day Afternoon, like critically acclaimed, and then he sadly passed away just when he finished The Deer Hunter, and yet even though the death was still fresh in Meryl Streep's head, Dustin Hoffman just straight up was like mocking his death to her, and it's like, um, you don't have to be a gigantic asshole, Mr. Hoffman. Um, it's just genuinely like horrible. From what I understand, it was genuinely baffling. It's baffling how much method actors will just go for it. Apparently, according to a Vanity Fair article, indicates that Dustin Hoffman put Meryl Streep through a lot of grief to get the right reactions during scenes. And Meryl Streep is a method actress. Like, and even she's like, she didn't need him or anyone else pulling this on her. Because, again, Meryl Streep is a method actress. And it's like, oh my goodness. Um, like, it is absolutely insane. But apparently it was out of jealousy. Um, yeah, apparently it was out of jealousy. Because like Dustin Hoffman was hearing publicity about Streep and how she was mastering the role, and instead of helping her along or giving her some scenes and while holding your own, you know, and like Hoffman is like, I hate her guts. Yes, I hated her, but I respected her. No, no. There's a difference between respecting her and let her doing her own thing, and just outright abusing her. Um, like like even she's like, I'm never gonna work with him again after he hit her to get into character, and it's like, again, method acting can go so far, like can go too far, you know? Apparently even somebody who was originally going to be in the movie got so rad like so upset about Dustin Hoffman's on-screen behavior that she had to be recast because, yeah, she had a nervous breakdown apparently. Um yeah, and the kid in the movie was like, Okay, choose one. Who would you choose? Meryl Streep or Dustin Hoffman? And the kid is like, her, she's nicer. And it's like, yeah, Meryl Streep has her issues, but at least on set, she was pretty much, there was no, what's the word I'm looking for? There wasn't any incidents involving her. Well, that she was doing, but it's all Dustin Hoffman. Like, it's, yeah, like, again, method acting is not an excuse to be like an asshole. Um, like, amazingly enough, Meryl Streep's character was supposed to be very, very unsympathetic, but she pushed for a more sympathetic take, which was eventually used in the film. And like, Dustin Hoffman is like, yeah, there is two types of method acting. You know, you don't like, yeah, it's awful what he did. Like, I don't, I'm pretty sure eventually I'm gonna watch that movie. Probably not. Um, but yeah, like, if you ever watch Kramer versus Kramer and you think that things are a little too real, blame it on the fact that Dustin Hoffman made a hostile environment and it is disgusting. Moonrose, thank you for the $25. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about it. Moonrose, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. It's been a while. $25? Oh my goodness. Oh, I I forgot what I was supposed to do if I ever got to over 100. I absolutely forgot. Oh my god, I forgot. I'm glad that you're doing okay now. It's been, I mean, I know that things have happened, but I'm glad that you're here with everybody. Um, would you like a shout out? Um, I don't know why I keep saying yeah, would you like a shout out? Um, yeah, if you want, because I know it's been a while. I know you're slowly getting into things. Um, but yeah, I know things aren't the best, but you're not alone. Um, yeah, um, I will give you a shout out. For those of you who don't, what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't, if you're still here, go follow Moonrose. Moonrose has taken a long hiatus, but you know, back to it. So please give Moonrose a follow. A completely wonderful artist, and whenever she games, it's like, I don't know what to say. Just please go follow her. Like, she's a gamer, she's an artist, and she is very intelligent, a lot more so than me. Like, she can recite things or she can talk about things that I would never be able to keep up on, you know? Um so please give her a follow. Um you blush now, but it's me you're looking at. It is me you're looking at. Anytime, Moonrose. Like, you absolutely deserve it. You know. Um, I know I'm not always there in terms of like in terms of your streams, but whenever I do know that you are streaming, because the notifications go to my Gmail account. Um, but I'm usually pretty much busy whenever I have work, but still, anytime, like absolutely anytime. And if you need to talk or if you want to talk, I'm here most of the time. I hope I'm here most of the time. Um, I hope I'm here most of the time, but um, you absolutely take care of yourself. And if you need to, and for anybody, I will be there. I hope, because I have a horrible habit of disappearing for months at a time. So I'm not. Sadly, I'm not the most reliable, but just know if we need to talk, I will talk. I don't know why I said I will talk like I'm part of a confession. Like, okay, I'll talk. I still buy CDs. I still have dysphoria. I still play Fallout 76. I think that I think that Drake is an overrated bore. I don't particularly care for the beef he's in with Kendrick Lamar. I have envy issues towards some trans women. There, you got a confession out of me. I don't know why I'm looking off the camera. Is he is he supposed to be awake? Hold on a minute. I'll be back. Sorry, I had to check. I'm checking up on my boyfriend because he's gonna work later. Um, I actually asked him, "Do you want me to wake you up later?" And he's like, "No." So officially, he's awake. I apologize to him. There's no way he's listening, even though he's just right there, right behind me. Um, but yeah, like, and as you can see, Moonrose, I moved. Yeah, I did move a few months ago, as you can see by this new set. I moved in with my boyfriend a few months ago, and I didn't tell anyone until, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Only people who do know are my close family and friends outside of Twitch, and one other person on Twitch who used to be on Twitch. But you all, like, most of you know who I told way beforehand. Yeah, it is lovely. It's more quiet here than like, I moved to another town. I'm not gonna say where. Just know that there's a good, like, I'm never gonna tell anybody because I don't want to get doxxed yet. Um, so yeah, I'm just here. So yeah, this is an entirely new place. Um, but we got together our video games. Like, we now have a combination of several video games. Like, right below me is an Xbox One that's mine, a PS2 that's mine, and a PS3 that's his. And we also have an Xbox Series and a PS4 and a PS5. So we have a lot of video games to look forward to. Um, but yeah, it's absolutely been lovely. Like, so yeah. He's also shown me I also have new. Yeah, I have new. He showed me he has new Warhammer. He painted some new Warhammer things, as you can see. This is something new. I don't know what it's called, but um, so here it is. I don't know if anybody can see it. Oh God, this is like even closer. It's just like, okay, so the back of, like, it's pretty much somebody with a crossbow and a crow on top, or a raven, and he painted the cloak the same color as my dysphoria hoodie, which I just took off. So it's always gonna be on top of here. So, like, it's, yeah, I don't know why I put it on that side. And also, I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but apparently it's another "it's you" thing where there's a crow right here, and anytime he sees a crow in Warhammer and somebody's holding a weapon, it's always it's you, and he always whenever he sees a crow, he always points, "Look, a crow," even though like there's thousands of crows in this neighborhood. Um, but yeah, He painted this one pretty much the same color as my Dysphoria hoodie, and I don't know what they're called. Like I know the Noise Marine and the Goth Rocker, like right here, but I don't know the other ones right now. I don't know the names of the other ones. The only reason as to why, yeah, the only reason as to why I have them on top is because, like these two right here, I'll show you. The only reason why I have these two right here, like these two, the Noise Marine and the Goth Rocker, is because they actually are like have musical taste, and they both are holding or have like a guitar on them. Like this one is the same color as my bass guitar right here, and this one is the same color as my very first bass guitar. So that's pretty much as to why I'd rather just have only these two on the TV. Like while I was moving, I made very careful. Like I was very careful with these two because I genuinely like these two, you know? And it's not that I don't like the other ones, it's just that I like these two on their own, you know? Um like yeah, I'd rather just have those two on its own, and I have three others which I'm like, "Okay, that's very nice. I just would rather have those two." And again, behind me there's three glass cases filled, mostly filled with Warhammer miniatures that my boyfriend mostly painted. Um mostly painted, you know? Um like he mostly painted them, but he's not there yet, you know? Um but yeah, that's just me. That's absolutely just me. He wanted me to paint a miniature and I'm like, "No, I'm okay. I'm absolutely okay. It's totally fine." And then he insisted, and then I didn't do a great job, and he's like, "Okay, fine." So I let him do his thing. I absolutely let him paint Warhammer miniatures. I should probably put this on because I don't like my dysphoria. I'm like, "Okay, you do your thing, and I'm just gonna be here either watching videos or playing video games or working on music." Um, and I don't know anything much about Warhammer except for the fact that my boyfriend keeps wanting me to read Warhammer books, even though I keep saying I'm probably not going to like them. I keep saying that over and over again, and I think that they're going to be average at best. And I always say after I read a book of his, like a Kane book, or The Infinite and the Divine, or like another book, Gothgol Academy, I think it was called. I always say that they're okay, and he gets not somewhat offended, but mockingly offended. And I'm like, "They're not for me," and he's like, "Okay, okay, okay." But here's another book from Warhammer, and I'm like, did I just? I don't want. Like, here's the thing, and I've said this plenty of times before. I love reading. I absolutely love reading books. I read books on my commute. I have been asked about the books I am reading. I have a ton of books. I go to the library for books I don't have. You know? I love reading. I absolutely love reading. I want to read the books that I want. I want to read the books that I want. And there are some books that I actually want to read that I don't get interested anymore because it's not for me, you know? See, even Moonrose, see, like reading is amazing, you know? I love reading a lot. I've been reading since I was a kid. In the last 4 years of my elementary school years, I would go to the school library just when school was ending. And I would go check out a book at a time. And then slowly I actually had a rapport or a friendship with the school librarian, to the point to where at the end of the fifth grade he gave me a couple of books, like a 1988 almanac, like a world almanac from 1988. Yeah, exactly, and your particular in your taste as well. And doesn't it bother you when somebody actually just like read this book? Like even in school, it's like read this book. It's for like school, and it's like there's something there's some like unless you like the book beforehand, there's something invasive whenever somebody actually tells you to read something. I know it's school, but it's particularly invasive for me because again, when I was in school, I actually developed a friendship with the school librarian. He gave me several books. I still have a rare copy of the first Lord of the Rings book. Like it's a rare I can even show you. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm going to need a flashlight for this. Okay. So here, like this I actually had to tape this up at my first job because it was falling apart. But this is a rare copy of Fellowship of the Ring. Like, this is absolutely a rare copy that my school librarian gave to me. And I am not letting this go ever. I've had this for about a decade, and I am never, ever going to let this go. Because it's pretty much like priceless at this point, and it's, again, rare copy. Like, rare copy. Like, most people have the Lord of the Rings book that is have a black cover and the color of a ring, like green, yellow, or I forgot, or green, yellow, or blue, I think. But this, this I'm never gonna let go. And yeah, I still will always appreciate this book. I'm gonna put it back later on, um, but yeah, like I said, I absolutely would go to the library, the school library, pretty much every day. And the not only would the librarian let me borrow, like, no, like give me books, but at the same time, I ended up checking out my own books before anybody else did. Like I remember one time, our class ended up going to the school library for some reason, and like I checked out a book. The librarian, who is also a friend of mine, or considered a friend of mine, checks it out. And the computer actually shows how many books you took out over the year. I had like around 80 or something, and the person behind me is like, "Wait, how many books did you took out 80 books this year?" And like, "Yeah, yeah, I like," and it's like, "Yeah," it's like, "Okay, like because they're books I want." I've been told there's also an ASD thing to have an aversion to do something once someone tells you to do it. Yeah, that's absolutely common. That's absolutely common. It's like there's something. It's it's like you want to be independent, but then somebody tells you to do something, and it's just like that independence is kind of being taken away. So I absolutely get it. I was lucky because when I was really young, we read War of the Worlds at school, which I loved at the time. Yeah, that's absolute. That's fine. But I also read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or the Roald Dahl book. I forgot Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, essentially. And I didn't like it back then because I was kind of like, this is schoolwork. Like, for me, reading is fun. It has always been fun. I always liked reading for fun. I don't want schoolwork to be involved anyhow. Like Moonrose says, like I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, that's fair. Like Moonrose actually had a book like that she read in school for a school assignment. Even as a kid and even now, I genuinely do not like it when I'm forced to or told to read a book. I want to read it on my own, you know? There is this content creator who did a video about it not too long ago. You got me, Blopsy. Send me a link on that. Please send me a link because I wanna watch that later on. I had never read Charlie Back in School. We had to. Playdom, how are you? Welcome on in. But I kind of regained interest after that new Wonka movie. I think you're fine. I think you're absolutely fine. I think honestly, just watch the Gene Wilder movie. Watch the Gene Wilder movie. Absolutely watch it. The Johnny Depp version is fine. I'm gonna be honest. The Johnny Depp version is fine. It's just that the worst parts about it is Johnny Depp and Freddie Highmore, Willy Wonka, and Charlie himself. Because Johnny Depp plays it too goofy and too over the top, while Freddie Highmore is just so perfect that it became sanitized. Like the reason as the why the characters in the original work is because Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka is a lot more mysterious and he's a lot more of a trickster mentor. And sometimes you get that he doesn't care, but he does care about who would get his factory when he retires or something. Like all of that, and that's fine. And also, the original Charlie was difficult. Like he could be upset, he could be absolutely in tears, he could be sad. He actually had emotions. The original, I mean, the original Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder, no, not not Gene Wilder. The kid, the kid who played the original Charlie. The original Charlie actually had emotions. He was an actual kid. He could be selfish. He could be sad. He could be happy. And then the Freddie Highmore Charlie is just like bland. You know, it's okay. So let me put it to you like this: how many of you like Hey Arnold? How many of you have watched Hey Arnold? Because this is a good example, in my opinion. Like I have an example to give. You still have to read it. Okay. Um, Playdom's not the best. I'm sorry to hear. Like, if you want to DM me for anything, please DM me because you've helped me. You've helped me with a few things a while ago, and I want to help you do the same. Finish my business so I can go to bed. Good night. Mighty Collector, good night to you. If you're not following Mighty Collector, go follow her. And Yuki Lights is here. That's surprising. Hi Yuki, how are you? If it doesn't have pictures, I ain't rating. You're missing out, Yuki. You're absolutely missing out. Yeah, the Gene Wilder is a classic. Who is Johnny Depp, or what you said? Who's Johnny Depp indeed? The Johnny Depp version is very Tim Burton-y. As it is. Yeah, it absolutely is. Um Peter Onstrom, yeah, that's his name, was Charlie in the old version. Oh God, played him. I'm so sorry to hear. Oh my God, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear. Like you can absolutely DM, like if you don't feel comfortable in the chat, you can absolutely DM me. Like I'm on, like I have you in the DMs. Like I absolutely have you on the DMs. I could absolutely talk to you in the DMs while I'm going here, okay? Like I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like at 4 in the morning, I am so sorry about what happened. Um, but Yuki, the reason as to why I'm surprised is because you're rarely here. If you're not following, would you like me to give you a shout out, Yuki? There's a 10-minute YouTube video where they explain why Grandpa Joe was actually a villain. Yeah, I can see that. Um, but you know what? I preferred Grandpa Joe in the original. Yeah, I prefer Grandpa Joe in the original because he's actually a character, while the one in the Willy Wonka version seems like an afterthought sometimes. You know, like I know more about Grandpa Joe in the original where he gets out of bed and sings, and the bubble part, like him and Charlie flying, and him giving a talking to the Willy Wonka near the end. You know, I remember more about him than the Grandpa Joe in the Johnny Depp version. I think I've seen it, but you go ahead. Absolutely. You know what? Go ahead, Blopsy. And in the meantime, please uh, show me the video that you talked about, like the video you talked about earlier. You know, the one where it's like what was it called? Aversion to do something when somebody told you to. Um, okay. You have good news. Okay, that's fair. I'm not sure if you can find. I'll try your best. If you can't find it now, you can DM me later because I love those types of video essays. And go for it. I ain't streaming anytime soon because school and leader battles with a crazy. Oh God, I'm sorry to hear. But you know, if you're not following Yuki, go follow them. They are absolutely amazing. They're like I've been following Yuki Lights ever since I started on YouTube. Not YouTube actually. Twitch. You know. Um, so please go follow them. Absolutely go follow them. They are the bee's knees. They're not streaming right now, but please go follow them. I've been following Yuki since I what's it called? I knew them since Lady Hedgehog. Kiara I think is kind of a dumb broad. I'm gonna be honest. That's just me. Kiara's kind of a dumb broad. Okay? I'm just gonna and thank you Blopsy for yeah, thank you Blopsy for the link. Um but oh, I was talking about Hey Arnold. Okay, I'm talking about Hey Arnold and why like Charlie Bucket and Arnold Shortman, both both Charlie versions of Charlie Bucket and Arnold Schwartzman from Hey Arnold are similar. So similar. Okay, so for those of you who watched Hey Arnold, you'll notice the difference between Arnold throughout the Ella Maria. Ella Maria underscore 10182. Welcome on in. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream where we just talk about stuff, and that's it. We don't do gaming. We just talk about stuff for about 90 minutes, and it's almost been 100 minutes at this point. So welcome on in. Sit down. If you need to lurk, if you want to be in the conversation. Right from the start, I want to apologize for any error in my comments. I'm Brazilian and I only know basic English. Sometimes I use Google Translate. I'm afraid of sending something by accident. It's totally fine. It's absolutely totally fine. It absolutely is totally fine. Like, if like we like Google Translate doesn't completely get things right, but I understand. Welcome back, Playdom. But I absolutely understand. But you know, you're totally fine here as long as you know you're not gonna say anything transphobic or homophobic. But thank you for coming on in. We're just here talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or books in general. because we talk about different things. And Uplift Vancouver, how are you? I hope you're doing okay as well. Um, Let me give you a shout. If you want, I could give you a shout out. I want to get this. I absolutely want to talk about how Charlie Bucket and Arnold Shortman are so similar in a way. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows Arnold. Not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey Arnold. But um, just celebrate my birthday. Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday, Uplift. And do anything special? Or you just like did stuff and things? Um, like, yeah, happy birthday. If you're not following Uplift Vancouver, go follow them. I don't know if you stream anymore, but you used to stream, and it was absolutely very interesting and very enjoyable to see you stream. Excuse me. I was just talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I was talking about Charlie Bucket and Arnold from Hey Arnold, which I'm pretty sure most people here know Hey Arnold. Everybody here knows about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I'm pretty sure people here know what Hey Arnold is. A Nickelodeon show that was from the 90s and the 2000s that had a couple of movies. One of them ended up being in theaters in 2002, and another one came out on Netflix a few years ago. You went to the Olive Garden? Oh, nice. Congratulations. Congrats on the Olive Garden. Um, Congrats on going to the Arnold. Why do I keep saying Arnold? You can't beat their pasta. Mwah. Congrats on that. Um, but the reason why I want to compare Charlie Bucket to Arnold Shortman is because that's pretty much the issue. Like, here, if you watch Hey Arnold from the beginning, you'll see that he's an actual character. Like when I watched it a few years ago, like an early episode, he was an actual character. Like he was happy, he was weird, he was wild. Um he actually danced he danced like really really crazy, like pretty much breakdancing at some point. Like he was an absolute three-dimensional character, just like the original Charlie, played by Peter Osborne what was his name? I forgot. Oh man, I actually forgot his last name. Peter Ostrom. Ostrom, that's his name. Just like Peter Ostrom's characterization in Charlie, um, Arnold from like the early episodes was actually a character, like with actual emotion. And then as the series went on, he turned into Freddie Highmore's um, Charlie Bucket, where he just apparently could not do any wrong. He actually is wise beyond his years, and he just came across as bland. Like Arnold near the end of that series just came off as absolutely bland, and he was pretty much like him and uh, Tim Burton's Charlie was pretty much like that. Like it was a de-evolution, and I'm not saying that you can't have a character that is wise beyond the years. I'm just saying you could also have them be a character as well. You know, like you know how in Recess there was a smart girl, Gretchen Grenler, and she was wise beyond her years, and yet she was still a kid who actually like played with everybody else, like did kid things. That is somebody who is pretty much a teen genius, wise beyond their years, and still a child. And Arnold Shortman, and Willie and Tim Burton's Charlie Bucket are wise beyond their years, but that's it. They're surrounded by colorful characters, and like that's pretty much why that Tim Burton's um, Willy Wonka suffered because like the two main characters in your movie, Willy Wonka and Willy Wonka and Charlie Bucket's characterization is so tonally off that it kind of throws a lot of things off. Like Tim Burton's Willy Wonka absolutely has imagination. Um, Pure imagination. Like everybody knows the song. I can't find the other video anymore. That's totally fine. You know, that's totally fine. Um, I could look into it later. That's totally fine. You know, that's absolutely fine. I can absolutely look into it later. Um, like I usually can look for it. Come with me, come with me. You know, like it absolutely has. In a world of pure imagination. Why does everything speak about Willy? Why does everyone speak about Willy Wonka? Honestly, it's because Willy Wonka is absolutely a classic. I don't know where we began speaking about him, but I think it's because of the books. The content creator is Morgan Foley. Okay, I'm gonna look up this person. I'm gonna look up this person right now. But Yuki, before we were just talking about books. Even My Old Place is making a musical this fall. Eh. I mean, honestly, I'm one of those people who are just like, I'm okay with the original. Just found it. Oh my god, you found it. You found it. You found it. Okay, good. Um, like send me a link. I can't wait. Is Insta link okay? Oh, I thought it was gonna be a YouTube link. I don't use Instagram. Oh god, I don't use Instagram. You can link it. You can link it to me, but I don't use Instagram. I genuinely thought that it was like I genuinely thought that it was going to be like a YouTube thing, but uh I don't use TikTok either. I I don't use TikTok. You could still link it to me. Like you could absolutely still link it to me. Like here's the thing. I was forced to use TikTok by a friend. Um yeah, I was forced to use a TikTok. Kiara, I will make some magic for you. No. Um like a friend of mine who Yuki and Bisected probably know, who doesn't stream anymore, she told me to use TikTok, and I'm like, I don't want to use it. It's not for me. I keep saying it over and over again, and she's like, use TikTok, and I'm like, why? It's like because you can get your stuff out there. You can absolutely get your stuff out there. You know, people, you visibility, and I'm like, I have a YouTube. Here's the thing. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitter account. I have Twitch. Those are three things where I can actually be visible to other people. And then she's like, TikTok anyway. So I did it for about 5 months. It was just me playing bass guitar. And that was it. With occasionally just me talking or something. And then I finally made the last video of TikTok on my account, which was a Foo Fighters video. Like it was just a Foo Fighters like compilation, and then I just logged out and never used it again. And she ended up apologize. She was like, "Okay, then it's not for you." I'm like, I kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, this is not for me. TikTok is not for me. You know, like TikTok is not for me. I kept saying it to her. She ended up apologizing, but yeah, nobody should force somebody to just use TikTok or whatever to get themselves out there when, again, I have this YouTube, Twitter, I use Facebook, but barely. Um, you can download it from me. That's totally fine. But yeah, you can send me a link. I just don't use it. I can never use TikTok. I miss Vine too. I vaguely remember Vine, and Yuki knows what I'm talking about. Who I'm talking about. Haven't heard from her in a while, but been busy. Yeah, she's like, from what I understand, she's yeah, she doesn't stream anymore, but occasionally we still talk. I have her as a friend. Um, I would say do YouTube Short after TikTok is banned in the US. After all, I'm okay with TikTok being banned in the US. I genuinely do not care. I don't care about like TikTok. I never have. Like again, the reason why I actually did TikTok is because a friend told me I should for visibility, and I'm like, I don't care. I genuinely do not care. Like I'm more comfortable here, as opposed to like TikTok where I'm just like stunted, you know? Like I'm more of a video essay person than just like having shorts on TikTok. Like I do watch shorter videos on YouTube, but that's because it appeals to me. Like man carrying channel is a good example, you know? Man carrying channel is a good example of this, you know? Um yeah, so he just does like short 1 minute videos, like videos that go from 10 seconds to a minute, and they're absolutely hilarious. But I like those. Same, TikTok is for Gen Z and Gen, I don't know, 2 kids. You mean Gen Alpha? And here's the thing, my dad used to use TikTok a lot with my sisters. My dad, who was born in a different generation, used TikTok. And I'm like, this is aggressively not for me. Absolutely not for me. So, yeah, even like Gen Z is like into TikTok, and I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want to use TikTok. That moment when I end up with a lap cat dropped a picture of that via Discord. As you should. As you absolutely should. Because I do like cats, but I don't want one as a pet. Oh, that is so. Ah, that is so cute. Oh god, that is so cute. But I'm more of a black cat person. I should not have said that out loud, but I'm more of a black cat person, so. But that is a cute cat. That is absolutely a cute cat. Kiara, you and me. Kiara, ain't you and me millennial? I'm not gonna say. I don't have to say anything. Just know that some people, like, I'm younger than you think, but I'm older than you think. Like, have you heard my musical tastes? Like, have you heard my musical taste? Like, some of these albums go back to the '60s. You know you don't. How so? I've never shown my age. Here's the thing. I've never told anybody my age here. I've never told anybody about what my birthday is. I don't tell anybody about my sign. I also never celebrate my birthday, so nobody knows. And if you do know, there's a good chance that I am lying. Because at one point on my Facebook, I actually straight up lied because I said the year I was born was 1899. So there's no way anybody could actually go ahead and see how old I was born, or when I was born, or how old I am. Like, because honestly, I don't. I absolutely don't. I'm younger than you think, but I'm older than you think. Yeah, 1988. So nobody would actually believe me. And if there's a good chance that somebody says my actual birth date, I can easily deny it. I'm Gen Z, so I must be an X woman. Oh crap! I keep forgetting to watch the original X-Men. I keep forgetting to watch the original X-Men. Oh god, I was in the middle of season 2. I should probably like watch that after the stream ends. Um Like you can like I should probably like watch it because I watched the first season in like 2 days. I genuinely don't understand. Here's the thing I don't understand. I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine the entire season in 3 weeks, but I have yet to watch all of X-Men, despite the fact that it only has what 50 or so episodes. Like what in the world? Like what in the world am I doing? um, you know? But that is a good one, Moonrose. Proud of you. Um, but I absolutely like, yeah, so I personally will not say my age at all. Like, all of this are from different years. So nobody absolutely knows. Like, I can show my age. If you could even look at my album collection, X-Men has a TV show. You know, the animated version from 1992, and the recent one that came out called X-Men 97. So, animated show. Yeah, animated TV show. It was a TV show back before streaming, but now streaming it's like X-Men 97. Never heard of? Okay, that's totally fair. Just know that X-Men have always been woke. X-Men has always been woke, and I'm tired of certain grifters saying it never was. Like when X-Men 97 came out and there was a non-binary character in it, it's like no, like X-Men went woke and it's like it always has been. Absolutely always has been. X-Men have always been woke, you know? Cuz you can see that some of it, a lot of it has something to do with queer identity, like having identity, like like queer people absolutely go for X-Men because they see themselves, you know? So the fact that it's like, why is X-Men 97 going to be sucky? Because it's woke, and it's like, you've clearly grown up with the original X-Men series. And I've watched the first season not too long ago. And it is woke as hell. Like, there are so many things that got to me now that I'm a trans woman. And I'm like, okay, so I got you. I absolutely got you. It's a lot more. It's a lot more than you let on. I will admit, it's a lot more than you let on. Um, but yeah, some people just complain because it's woke, and then it turned out to be good. Um, yeah, it ended up turning out to be very good. Um, like, yeah, go ahead and watch it later. It's absolutely fine. Um, but yeah, all of you, if you haven't seen it, all of you should absolutely go. The always merchant, yeah, yeah, they do that. They absolutely do that. But yeah, they absolutely do that. But you know, some people just want to be joy kills. You know, yeah, some people genuinely just would rather be joy kills. I find it fascinating how some people just don't have a life. Um, um, hold on. Oh, okay. But yeah, anything vaguely woke, they start saying that would be bad campaign. Um, they pretend they say nothing, or they say, "I knew it all along. I've always known it was gonna be good." But they say like if it turned out to be slightly better, it's like they were right, and it's like some people. Here's the thing: some people just don't. Some people genuinely just don't want others to be happy. Like, yeah, some people just genuinely do not want other people to be happy. And that's it. And that's why you should just pretty much ignore those types of people because it's just sad for them. No, it's absolutely sad seeing people like Geeks and Gamers making how much? 40 videos about Brie Larson. It's like, why? Why would you make 40 videos about Brie Larson? Like, 1 to 3 is one thing, but 40? There's a difference between just making content just to talk and having it as an obsession, you know? Just, yeah, just move on, you know? Like, there are some things that, like it's the same with that Fallout TV show that is absolutely doing gangbusters, and you should all watch if you haven't. But they also said that it was too woke, despite the fact that Fallout was always woke. But they say, but you know, they say that Hogwarts Legacy is okay. You know, um, like it's absolutely insane. You know, but you know, some people would rather just get outraged, and eventually that YouTube grift is going to go away. Like that's the best thing about YouTube grifting. It will absolutely go away because eventually those types of people will have an audience that will see who they are and they will slowly go away. You know, those people will slowly go away and their audience will absolutely shrink, you know? And they're going to actually like here's the thing. There is criticism and then here's the thing. There is criticism. Like I understand people who like Fallout, the show. There are some people who like Fallout, but they can criticize. There are some people who don't like it, but they can actually have valid reasons for why not liking it. Those three are totally fine. But saying that Fallout the show sucks because it's woke, like some races actually are just like I don't like it because there's a white character who is who is with a black woman, and it's like, wow, you genuinely just don't care. You know, you genuinely just don't care, and you're just putting it out there on YouTube. And then when people call you out, you either delete the comment or you just say that's not what I meant, even though that clearly is what you meant. Like, I here's the thing. My boyfriend and I are going through it. We are 6 episodes in. We just finished episode 6 yesterday. We're slowly going through it because that is something that we both don't want to binge watch like other people. Like there are other people who have watched all the entire Fallout show in a day, and both of us are just like, how? Like that's insane. Like both of us are just like that. We're just like, I like the reason why like then again I did watch all of Brooklyn 99 in like 3 weeks, so I can't really say anything. Yeah, I can't really say anything if I've watched like the entire Brooklyn 99 show in like 3 weeks. And I so I'm pretty sure I'm burnt out in terms of binge watching shows. You know, I'm pretty much burnt out. But yeah, don't listen to those YouTube grifters. There are people who absolutely have criticisms, constructive criticisms, valid criticisms. Just don't listen to the people who just don't like it because it's woke. I understand that forced diversity, but do not say it's woke even before the show came out. Like people were just being racist because like it was woke. They said it was woke without even watching the show. So just turn away from them. Like don't have them recommend your list. Don't let them clog your YouTube channel or Twitter because sooner or later those grifters are just going to go away, and you know they can only farm hate for so long before they piss off certain people, and they will. They already have. Just like Daily Wire with their grifting. Like apparently even like everybody here knows about the movie Lady Ballers, right? and how triggering it was supposed to be. Um, I was offended, not because it was triggering and it was saying that women do not play sports well, or men are better at sports, or nobody watches women's sports, or trans people are not valid. No, no, I'm just offended because it could have been a really valid not a valid satire, but it could have been, there was satire that could have been mined in it. There is genuinely good satire that could have been in it if you had people to take care of it. But satire involves, knowing what you're talking about, and the people behind Lady Ballers do not know what they're talking about. And it's quite interesting because Lady Ballers was supposed to be a documentary. A couple of people are like, okay, let's just have some of our guys go to a sports team, pretend they're trans women. But apparently that couldn't have been done. So they actually had to make a fictionalized movie. It would have been absolutely funny if you just had it a mockumentary. Make it a mockumentary, nobody would have taken it seriously. It wouldn't have been funny, but it would have been unintentionally funny as opposed to like being one joke, you know? Because apparently even some of Daily Wire's subscribers unsubscribed because it was not funny. It absolutely was not funny. Like, like from the beginning when the movie actually came out, YouTubers absolutely got bombarded with Daily Wire um, reports, like having takedowns with Daily Wire. So it's like, hey, it's free speech as long as isn't funny relative. Only if you know how to be funny. Like I'll give a good example. Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles, is absolutely a movie that does hold up despite the controversial content. And it's because those people knew what they were doing and what they were talking about. It is slightly too edgy for today's standards, but at the time they knew what they were talking about. Same with a movie like Tropic Thunder. That is a very funny movie because it still holds up. Race relative jokes. Somewhat. Here's the thing. Race jokes are funny only if the person knows what they're talking about. Like, I enjoy black jokes. I absolutely do. But they actually have to be at least funny. They have to come from a person who knows what they're talking about. Like, black comedians make black jokes, and some of them are absolutely funny. Some of them. I'm not completely into black jokes, but whenever they're funny, I can actually admit it. However, like again, take a look at Tropic Thunder, which people were offended by at first. And then it turns out that it was funny because a lot of it ended up being true. Like Tom Cruise's character, Les Goldman, everybody's like, yeah, that is too over the top to be a real person. And then it turned out to be a slightly toned down version of Harvey Weinstein. Andrew Schultz makes funny black jokes. I have no idea who that is. I don't know. Oh, oh, this person. Oh, this person. Didn't. Oh. I mean, if you like him, that's. I don't know. Yeah, Tom Cruise was laughing like. No, it's. No, here's the thing. It wasn't Jews. Here's the thing. Before. I don't know if you're a troll or not, but. Tom Cruise, his character in Tropic Thunder, was making fun of over the top Hollywood. Yeah, you are judging him by the looks on this. Yeah, that's because um we have something called shigami eyes, where if the person has a red outline, they are pretty much considered unsafe. That's pretty much me. Like from what I understand and see here, he is not the best in terms of what I like. Like I have, like I forgot what it was, but I have a program installed, and yeah, whenever I see that their name is red, that's pretty much like so you can be judgmental, but no one else. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there is a right way of comedy and there's a wrong way of comedy. Like again, Tropic Thunder was made by people who had written parody and satire. And also, since it was a Hollywood movie, all those people worked in Hollywood, so they know what they're talking about. However, a movie like what was it called? Lady Ballers does not have anyone who knows what they're talking about at all. Like that was the problem. Tropic Thunder was a satire of Hollywood politics, and also was a movie that ended up having a couple of Academy Award nominations. And Lady Ballers absolutely says it was triggering, despite the fact that it wasn't. I don't think anybody I knew actually found anything in that movie so called triggering or offensive. It was just one joke. A one joke that is all on Twitter, to the point to where even people who agree with them said that the movie was poorly made. So even some conservatives have standards. Actually, a lot of conservatives don't like that movie. You can call me silly. I'm absolutely silly. Um, but I know what I'm talking about. And when I don't, I just stop. I don't talk about things that I don't know. You know? Why did I say, you know? um, but yeah, like, it's totally fine if you call it a satire as long as you know what you're talking about. And clearly, Daily Wire doesn't. But how did you find me, Karig87? And welcome on in. You are a new chatter, but yeah, thank you for coming in. Um, but yeah, there are some comedians I don't care for, but there are some that I do. Like I grew up with yeah, I grew up with like different comedians in the decades, you know? Some people actually need to talk to people instead of making up people to be mad at. Yeah, exactly. Why not just talk? They just like think it's in their mind. It's like in my mind I'm right. And I can say this. Sometimes I think that, but I know that I'm a flawed person. I know I don't know everything. I absolutely don't know everything, but that's why I give other people that's why I let other people who know what they're doing do it best. And I'll work on my own thing. Um but yeah, like some people genuinely just want to thrive on hate, and I get it. I've been there and it is tiring after a couple of years. Yeah, exactly. Like bigots have never met anyone from the group they hate. You know, I heard of a like. Okay, Moonrose, absolutely take care of yourself. I hope to see you again, whether it's here or on your stream. I'm gonna give you another shout out. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you're absolutely safe. If you're not following Moonrose, please go follow her. She is an absolutely creative woman who you should listen to her, because everything she says absolutely has an air to it, and sometimes I can't keep up. So please go follow her. Um Anytime, Moonrose. No, get going. You have an appointment. I'll be ending this in about 15 minutes, or I've I've clearly went too far. This is supposed to be a 90-minute stream, I keep saying. However, like I was saying before, there is good satire. It's out there. The best satire are the ones that have people knowing what they're doing. And just because like there's a story out there about like a black person actually having some Klansmen come up to him, and it turns out that black people are normal human beings. Like, the bigots are the ones who are just told to be racist, apparently. So, a few Klansmen, or one Klansman at a time, went over to this black person's house and they chatted. And it turns out that, yeah, black people are normal. And so he gave up his Klansman sheets, and the black person actually has like a ton of them, not to wear, but as proof that it's like, yeah, these are all the people who actually left the KKK because they've never actually talked to a black person. So it's pretty much like atonement by them, and you show the proof, you know? I forgot the name, but I've heard about this in the news. So there are atoners out there. They just have to get out of their own way. You know, just don't go on living on Twitter all the time. You know, because one day you'll just, yeah, some people just would rather just um, stay on Twitter for an entire day, and it just gets boring. Like, get off of Twitter. That's totally fine if you get off of Twitter, Glenner. Yeah, just get off of Twitter. It's totally fine. Like, it's not going to hurt you. Yeah, Twitter is absolutely. Getting off of Twitter is not going to hurt you. I should know. I didn't go on. Like, I don't go on Twitter because of dysphoria, but I should know. I've been there. I've been in. Like, here's the thing. Pre transition, I was an angry person. I was an angry person pre transition. Like, absolutely, I was. But you know what? I grew up. Twitter, chicken dinner, the big home of a man named Glenner. Twitter, chicken dinner, the big home of a man named Glenner. Eh, I mean, it's not perfect, but whatever. Um, but yeah, I was an angry person pre-transition. I was depressed. I was tired. I was on several occasions having a mental breakdown. And then I left Twitter for a long time. I transitioned, and then I became just sad. But I was still off of Twitter. I don't make any angry tweets because I have a life now. I have a boyfriend who has calmed me down, who has made me go to therapy because I get sad and depressed. You know? That's pretty much how it is. Just, and I don't go on, I even use Twitter less and less. It went from every day to 5 days a week, then 4 days, then three, then two, then one. It's gotten to the point where my boyfriend uses Twitter more than I do. Like, before me, he barely used Twitter. And now he's just using it more than me, you know? Like, I've went like months without it, and I'm okay with it, you know? Um, just don't make the internet your thing. Everybody deserves to unplug from life, but everyone also deserves to, like, unplug from the internet. Hence, maybe play a video game, chat with somebody, I don't know. Like, the reason why I'm doing this is because I promised my boyfriend I would stream every day for a month. And on Twitch, I'm glad I got to see a lot of people here, whether it's in the chat or on their streams, you know? Um, just makes things a little less lonely sometimes, you know? And I still get envy issues. You know, I absolutely still get envy issues. I just don't go out of my way to antagonize people like Dustin Hoffman did. Oh, hi, Helia. How are you? Welcome on in. And I'm glad you're here. I'm absolutely glad that you're here. Hold on. First of all, let me give you a shout out. If you're not following Helia Blackskull, go follow her, please. She does music streams. She actually did, last time she streamed was a Star Wars Day, like, May the 4th be with you, and another stream after that. She also does, like, music streams where she calls it Friday Night Haircuts or 8 o'clock haircuts, where she talks about music or plays music, especially music from the 80s. Um, Also, Helia, I actually want to show you like a poster that I found with my boyfriend. Hold on a minute, it's right here. Okay. All right. Like there's a rare poster I found with my boyfriend that here. Um when I moved in with my boyfriend and he actually had his stuff, I found this in like one of the packages, and I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the wall. Like, I'm absolutely gonna put it on the wall. And I keep, and here's the thing: every time you're in here, I keep forgetting to look up there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably show this to her. Um, but yeah, like this is a rare poster from, I'm guessing way before he died. Um, yeah, this is in Toronto. This is years ago. This is many years ago. I actually don't think that. Yeah, I genuinely do not think that this place exists anymore. I don't know what year this was in. This is July 11th, and this is pretty much like, this seems like the band, so I'm pretty sure this is like from the 80s, because my boyfriend's dad absolutely is into them, and I'm like, oh yeah, Double Trouble. So this was definitely okay. So this is, yep, there he is. Like, there you go. Like, I actually thought that this was one of his brothers, you know? Because you told me about Stevie Ray Vaughan. I kind of got interested in him for a while. Like, the only song I know by him really is Cold Shot. Um, but yeah, like, you almost forgot, but you sent me the video. Okay, I gotta get into it. So yeah, this is, like, I wanted to show you this because I knew you would probably like it. Um, No, you didn't have to download it. I would have like linked it and just like sent myself, but I'm gonna put this back on the wall. Hold on. There we go. You sent me the video. Congrats. Let's see. I'm absolutely gonna watch it later. Ah, screw it. You know what? Screw it. I'll just watch it. Ah, screw it. Let's watch it now. Ish. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it now.
Hey, can you do the dishes for me?
Nope, not anymore.
No, don't stop. I didn't know that you were already doing them.
It's too late. You ruined it. I'm not doing them anymore.
You're so defiant. Every time I tell you to do something, you freak out.
PDA autism often looks like defiance from the outside perspective, but it's actually a persistent drive for autonomy, like me feeling like I need to be in control of my own body.
What does that mean?
Basically, we feel like we need to be in control of our bodies, and when something threatens our autonomy, it causes us to go into a fight or flight response, and it might look like defiance from an outside perspective, but it's an uncontrollable, like, body instinct.
So me demanding you to do the dishes disrupted your nervous system and caused this like defiant behavior?
Yeah, it has nothing to do about the chore. Like, as you can tell, I was doing the dishes. I have no problem doing them. It's more so my brain thinking that you're taking choices away from me and it's reacting.
In the future, how should I ask you to like do the dishes then?
It would be great if you could give me choices. That way I feel like I'm still in control. Like, you could say something along the lines of, like, hey, can you do the dishes for me? Do you want to do them now or in a half an hour? You know, it's something like that.
Oh, okay. I just need to give you options instead of like demanding things.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't know if I full screened it, but yeah, pretty much. Oh, I'm gonna need to show this to my boyfriend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to show this to my boyfriend because it's like, oh God, I feel that. God, I freaking feel that. Oh my God. And I should probably like, hold on, I'm gonna have to mute this because sometimes I get scared of the boop. But God, like, I feel that. Okay, good, it was full screen. Um, but yeah, I absolutely get it. You know, like for me, like, I don't know, I kind of get a little bit insulted because of it. Not because of the video, because it's like I was already doing it, and then you're just yeah. But for me, leave me. For me, in my opinion, leave it alone. Like for me, just leave it alone. Oh, I see you playing with a D20. Oh yeah, this is my boyfriend's. Uh. So yeah, I this is also my boyfriend's. I found it when he was unpacking a few things a few months ago, and I always play with this whenever I'm surfing the web or I'm with my therapist. Like I don't know, like I didn't think I would be playing it as much as I do, but yeah, I genuinely absolutely like this. You know, um, I've had this for about I don't know ever since I me and him built this desk that my everything is a part of. But I've had this on top of here, and I'm like, nice, nice. I have a fidget cube for that. Yeah, like exactly. Like I absolute. That's a fidget cube, fidget spinners. Like I remember when fidget spinners were a big thing, and then it got cheaper because certain dollar stores would fix it. And I'm like, I don't want those anymore. It was fun when somebody like Rooster Teeth sold them, but now it's just cheapened. And that's fine, but for me, I don't know. I just like this. Like, I don't know why. I don't remember. I don't know why. But I always don't know what to do with my hands on some streams, but this it's like okay, that's fair. Also reminds me of the D20 I got as part of my Baldur's Gate 3 Collector's Edition, except that one is metal, and you could cold murder someone if you throw it. Really? Hmm. I mean, my boyfriend's in there. Nobody would have to. I'm kidding. Um, this is absolutely hard enough, as you can hear. Like sometimes, like the microphone picks it up and it goes really loud. So like I absolutely just like doing this, and even my boyfriend is like he's not gonna want this back, you know. And yes, to answer your question, he is into D&D. He absolutely loves D&D. He's getting me to play Baldur's Gate 3 also, like he's put in hours in that. Um, but yeah, I absolutely like the only things that were originally his is this and the Fallout New Vegas Collector's Edition box, which this camera is on top of. Um, yeah, fidgeting is nice, and you can tell because I'm pretty much on the like, I'm on the spectrum, so it absolutely kind of calms me down a little bit. Like sometimes I'd be watching a video and I just pick this up, and I really hope I'll never lose this, just like I won't lose the miniatures that my boyfriend painted for me. Like honestly, the only thing that like this and the um Fallout box is his. Everything else is mine. The pencils, the eyeshadow, the CDs, the keyboard, the mouse, the microphone, the tall glass of water and lighter, and the Hershey syrup box bottle that I drank out of. I have this awesome dwarf paladin character I'm dying to play sometime. Absolutely go for it. Absolutely. Absolutely go for it. I'm autistic myself, but I sure as hell don't let that stop me. Once upon a time, I was ashamed because I actually had the diagnosis that I had mild autism, and I didn't want anybody else to know. So I didn't tell anybody. Um, and now it's just like, well, it's out there. I have autism. Um, I thought I could absolutely be normal, but it turns out I was never normal. You know, like again, I absolutely like how things kind of are, and I like you know. She's an oath of vengeance, and I play her as a barbarian. Excellent. That is awesome. I honestly have not played Dungeons and Dragons since the incident. I'm kidding, of course. I've the campaign I was a part of, everything fell apart, and friends just went somewhere else. I do unmask, hence why I do these streams so I can be myself or whatever. I was super relieved when I got my ADSD diagnosis. I used to think I was a broken being before. Same, like as a kid, in every school I ended up going to a therapist or seeing a therapist. And then in high school, after an incident in the 10th grade, I actually was like, okay, so, yeah, okay. You know, it was one of those, okay, yeah, okay, okay. You know? I get it. You know? Um, I was just genuinely, like, I thought something was wrong with me. I genuinely thought something was wrong with me. Um, I didn't know any better. Like, I would keep to myself whenever, when I was a kid, I would keep to myself. I would read. I get very excitable, but at the same time, I would be very quiet and just read. Um, you know? And also, I have, what's the word I'm looking for? I have, what was that word? What was that word where you want things to be like the same? Mark Summers had it. Not ADHD, though I have some of it. Um, what was it called? Mark Summers from Double Dare had it. OCD. I have some OCD tendencies. You know, I have absolute OCD tendencies as well. Also anxiety and depression and dysphoria. I have a lot of things going on in my mind that I can only get out through poetry, music, and porn. Yeah, I also bounce between multiple therapists. Same here, but the only reason I bounced between multiple therapists is because I went to different schools. In hindsight, I don't know why I couldn't just see the same therapist, but you know, it's whatever. Um, it was a different time in the 1970s, or 80s, or 90s, or 2000s, or 2010s. I could easily just keep lying about my age, and nobody will ever know. Nobody ever knows when my birthday is. Nobody knows my age. Nobody knows my sign. Nobody knows. Because who knows? I could be lying. The only thing I always lie about is my birthday. The year I was born, the day I was born. Somewhere on my Facebook, I actually have the year I was born as 1899. 1850s, exactly. Birth year on Facebook is 1899, I think so. There is no way anybody could figure it out. You know, because apparently, even when I was younger, I talked like an old soul. I was listening to music that was 30 years before, like, before I was born. And other people listen to current music. Um, just like my boyfriend and I, we went out and we discussed how everybody has, like, their musical taste today. And I said the most popular music today is K-pop. K-pop is probably the most popular music today, alongside like hip hop. Hip hop and K-pop are pretty much like the two most popular things in music, or genres in music. And because every, like, I have an hour, less an hour before my appointment, but I still need to wash my face. Thank you for coming by. I'll see you in another time, probably on Nova stream actually. But thank you for coming by. I hope to see you again, Blopsy, and you take good care of yourself, okay? Absolutely take good care of yourself. And thank you for coming by. Um, now, um, like, yeah, I have. What was I saying? So yeah, and I told my boyfriend every generation has their boy bands, you know? Like 80s had New Kids on the Block, 2000s had NSYNC, 90s had Backstreet Boys, you know? Yeah, Nova Stream is later today. If I keep going, I could rate her later, but no, she streams in the afternoon, and this is the early stream. This is not the afternoon stream anymore. It's not the afternoon stream anymore, but that's really sad to say. Sorry to say, this is just another stream. This is just another stream. But yeah, every generation has their boy bands, and with the K-pop boom, it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like I was pretty much like, that's totally fine. Um, you know, I'm not into K-pop, but that's just me. You know, like I've never been into K-pop, but I don't look down on it. You know, I don't look down on K-pop, mostly because I don't care enough to go into K-pop or whatever, or whatever. Yes. Um, but point is, I don't know. I'm kidding. Yeah, sometimes I kid, yes, but sometimes it's like, you know, like, sorry, my throat is closing in. I'm kidding. Why do I keep saying I'm kidding after each point? Um, but suffice to say, like, I've seen how this works. No, kind of. Like, I don't care about K-pop, but I'm not gonna shit. I'm not gonna be like, K-pop sucks because it's popular. I already have my genres. I have music I've been listening to. Like, the oldest album I have is from 1969. I think. Let me check something. When did Revolver come out? Hold on a minute. Revolver came out in 1966, I think, according to this book. Did it come out in 1966? Hold on. Let me check. Hold on, let me check something. Yet, August 1966. So Revolver is the oldest album I have. It's, I can easily say it's both older and younger than me. It used to be Jimi Hendrix, which was released in 1969, and now, yeah, I have a couple of albums from the 60s, a few from the 70s, a couple from the 80s, several from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. So yeah, like I'm absolutely into it. Like, so yeah, I have several. Like I have albums from several decades. Like even when I was in high school, I've been listening to songs from the 70s and 60s. So yeah, shows my age. But now nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. Um, I should not mock anybody for that. I'd rather just not say my age. Just know, once again, I'm older than you think, and I'm younger than you think. Um, that's a whoops. Yeah, like, okay, so this stream is only going to be 3 hours long. Hopefully, it'll be 3 hours long. This was supposed to end at the 2 hour mark, but nope. I just decided to go for an. I'm going for an extra few minutes, so I'll be here for another 22 minutes. So hopefully everybody's Monday is gonna be okay, okay at best. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that my Monday is going to be okay. I'm hoping, you know. Um, hopefully depression and dysphoria will not cloud my judgment, but then again, it always has been, always will. Um, but oh yeah, I do have, like, I should have said this out front. I do, like I said this a few minutes ago, I do have some semblance of OCD. Okay, so I didn't realize I actually had some OCD until, um, yeah, up until last year or so, when, back in my old place, I would actually get out of the house at a specific time and be at work at a specific time. Like I would time it, like especially a few years ago. So back when I used to listen to Welcome to Night Vale, um, I used to, but I don't anymore. I would actually have an episode. I would actually go in order by episode with my MP3. So I would the night before I would actually put the next episode I would listen to of Night Vale on my MP3. And then I would leave the house at around 10 in the morning. This is before I started streaming. So I would actually go to bed around midnight and I would wake up at around 9 o'clock or 8:30. And I would actually like get ready. Then I would be out of the house at 10. Probably go to the library for about an hour or so. And yeah, I would go to Tim Hortons I would be there at around 11 or so, and I would read a book. I would still be reading for about 90 minutes or so or something. Get a hot chocolate at around, I don't know, 11:45 or 12, and then I would finish the hot chocolate, and at a specific time, probably around 12:30 p.m., I would put on my MP3. I would get up, begin the Night Vale episode, and I would walk to work. And by the time it was halfway done or so, like 10 minutes or so, I would be in my locker listening to the rest of the show. And then I would straight up read a book afterwards. Like, that was pretty much like my thing. And after COVID, it was leave the house at 11 and be at work by 1 or 2, like early enough. So, yeah, I genuinely don't want to break away from that, even though my boyfriend and I did talk. So, yeah, I do have some OCD scenarios that I kind of want to break out of, but at the same time, I'm super comfortable. Even though I'm in a new place, I'm super comfortable with a specific schedule. Like, for example, I usually stream at 4 in the morning because that was pretty much my schedule, hence the early stream, you know? Um, so, like, hence why I was upset at my boyfriend for moving stuff around when I was out for New Year's. Like, he moved around my PC, my Xbox. He moved around a few things, and I appreciated him cleaning my workspace. I would rather have things as they are right now because I'm like I genuinely just what's the word I'm looking for? I genuinely just I mean a lot of people just feel like invaded when something is not right with where they are. I'm not saying everything should be as they are. Like, I do move things, but I do need things to be as they are sometimes. Hence some OCD qualities. Um, but yeah, my goodness. Um, Again, like, this is pretty much my set, and I don't want anything to happen to it unless I change it. Unless I change it. You know, as you can see, yes, I still have physical copies of books, and I still buy CDs. Again, you can't tell you don't know where I am. um, just know that you know? And also my boyfriend and I were discussing that I'm stubborn in terms of, like, what is going on in the music world. Like, on my YouTube channel, I do talk about music, but I'd rather not know anything about the Drake and Lamar thing because, quite frankly, I genuinely do not give a crap. Like, I've talked to him about the Tupac and Biggie thing, and that was pretty much the height of tragic rivalry that's tragic. You know? I don't and I'm like, look, like, Tupac died in 96 and Notorious B.I.G. died in 97 after years of rivalry and violence. It all ended in violence. And then after that, it's like, why beef now? I know it's not by publicity, but I genuinely do not care about that. I know nothing about this beef, and I genuinely do not care. My boyfriend is trying to be like, can I just tell you one thing? And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear it. So yeah, on YouTube they actually keep recommending me all that, and I'm like, not interested, not interested. Just leave me alone. Just give me anything else other than that particular story, because I don't care. I genuinely do not care about that. I just care about what I like, which is I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Helia. Same. Like, I genuinely don't care about hip hop beef. Because I pretty much grew out of that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I just grew out of it. Like, it was in. Like, the moment where I stopped caring about, like, beef is when everybody was talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Everybody was talking about it. Like, it's a divorce proceeding. That should be private. That should not be televised. If you want, you could eventually, I don't know, put a transcript out so people can read it. But I don't want to know about their divorce proceedings in real time. I genuinely don't want that. I don't want I don't want both of them airing their dirty laundry to the public. Divorce proceedings should pretty much be private. Just leave those alone. Like like it's pretty much like the O.J. Simpson trial. Everybody was talking about it. And now he's dead. Uh Nah. But still, like, honestly, I don't care about celebrity gossip. I go on the internet to check out music that I like, music I want to like, music history. Oh god, it's been a while since I listened to the ongoing history of new music. I should probably listen to that. Um but yeah, I genuinely don't care. Like, there's a show that used to be on Much More Music called Listed, where it's the top 20 of a certain subject, and one of the subjects was top 20 musical beefs. There were the Gallagher brothers. There were the from Oasis. There were the what was it? The Gallagher brothers from Oasis and the what they were brothers as well. I forgot their names. The Gallagher brothers and the Kinks. The brothers from the Kinks. The Davies brothers. The Davies brothers were pretty much like the Gallaghers back in the day. The Gallagher brothers back in the day. So yeah, like all these beefs, and number one is Tupac and Biggie because it's pretty obvious why. Because they both died in 6 month intervals, so there were no winners, and that's pretty much like the height of like music beefs. And when everybody was talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, I'm like, maybe we should just get lives. Maybe we should just like leave it alone, not televise it. You know, maybe let's not televise or court proceedings involving celebrities. I genuinely don't care. Just leave it. Absolutely leave it. If they want to air out their dirty laundry outside and just like a he said, she said thing, there's a good chance they'll ignore it, but still it's not court where it's happening in real time. So was the cable guy right? We're all obsessed about this one major thing, and then we just move on with our lives. Like in the cable guy, there was that court case with Ben Stiller that is scattered throughout. And then when the verdict hits, it was anticlimactic. No spoilers, just know. It was a thing. Like, everybody was so invested, and I'm like, we are living in the cable guy universe, aren't we? I love that. I absolutely like how uncomfortable the cable guy is. And people are like, hey, like, that movie is too dark for Jim Carrey, even back in the day. And I'm like, was it? Was it too dark for Jim Carrey? Let's actually just take this as it is. The movies that came out before, Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, they all have eccentric characters and over-the-top performances from Jim Carrey. And we like it because it's his movie and it's from his point of view. So he's pretty much the hero. But some people might find that a little strange. But the cable guy is a perfect deconstruction. Jim Carrey's playing with character type, like the characters he's playing. But what if somebody absolutely thinks that he's just a little bit off? You know, like the Cable Guys to Jim Carrey as Punch Drunk Love is to Adam Sandler, just deconstructing their usual type and having some devastating consequences. Like Ace Ventura to somebody else might be a danger or might be a creep. Like if you see Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, he is chasing somebody with a monster truck. And from his point of view, if we see it from his point of view, it's hilarious. But from another point of view, especially the person he's chasing, that is freaking terrifying. I should probably do like a video about the Cable Guy and how it's like a deconstruction. Oh god, I'm getting so many ideas of something. I don't know. Like, Punch Drunk Love is probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Yes, over Hidden Gems or Uncut Gems. Hi Black Star, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. We're just talking about like how I genuinely do not care about Drake or the Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing, and how a lot of people are so invested. Like even my boyfriend is invested in it, and I don't care. Like ever since the Amber Heard trial and Johnny Depp trial, I genuinely do not care. Kiara, your mic is low. Is it? It's low? Really? It's low? Oh god, hold on a minute. Let me check something. It seems high enough as it is. Like I'm talking absolutely. Hold on. Is it high enough now? Hold on. Is it high enough now or because I have no idea. Because according to the audio input, probably I was too far from it. Like I was doing this and then I was just doing this. Probably. I'm not sure. But some people apparently can hear me, but then again, I'm just like this. I'm just afraid. Hold on a minute. Let me actually put the mic a little bit closer. And put the mouse like this. Yeah, the mouse should be a little bit closer. Okay, so it's just that the mic was a little bit further. Okay, I gotcha. But yeah, I was talking about how some people were just so into like the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing, and I don't want to hear anything about it. All I know is that they're making diss tracks about each other, and it's beef, and I'm like, I do not care, you know? And I was talking about how the Cable Guy absolutely encaptures a zeitgeist or whatever that everyone was talking about, and some people are obsessed, and I just want to move on, you know? In about 2 or 3 weeks, people are not going to talk about it, and they're going to talk about something else, you know? Like, I personally want to talk about anything, like a movie. Like, for the entire stream, I wanted to talk about. I was talking about how Charlie Bucket is pretty much like Hey Arnold. And I mean that like a bad way. Of course I was on the anti-Drake trade. He is a mediocre bore. And here's the thing. I've had, like, some people were just going to be like, wait, Drake was always mid? How come you didn't tell us? And I genuinely ended up, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I genuinely, let me see, audibly, like, I called them out, like, I punched them in the nose with brass knuckles, and I blocked them. Because I'm like, I've told you from the start, you didn't believe me, and now I'm punching you in the throat with brass knuckles. And I'm gonna block you, because you can like any music you like. It's just that Drake is an overrated bore. I have not watched X-Men 97 yet. I'm in the middle of season 2 of the original series. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. You know I will, eventually. Eventually I will watch all of X-Men, because, hey, like I said thousands of times, I watched all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in 3 weeks. And that's what, over 100 episodes? How many episodes is Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Because I watched the first season in a night. Let me see how many episodes Brooklyn Nine-Nine is. Like, it lasted 8 seasons. It is 153 episodes long. And yet somehow I watched the entire thing in 3 weeks. And the first season I watched in, like, I don't know, it took me a night, like 5 hours. And, you know, it's a good show for the first 6.5 seasons, and then it just kind of crapped the bed for the last season, and the last episode was pretty much like the goodwill. Last season was solid. I genuinely do not like Gina. Gina is pretty much like my least favorite character. She was fine at first, and then she began the whole thing about what's the word I'm looking for? Never, like, she's always right no matter what, and everybody has to bow to her. She's a creator's pet, and I'm like, God. Oh, God. Like, I think everybody else is semi-realistic. They do have cartoon qualities to them, but Gina is just... I genuinely do not like Gina. Like, I would love to go back to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The problem is, I just can't. Because of her. Like, I think the actress is talented. The character is just not for me. And here's the thing. Pre-transition, I want to be like Captain Holt. Now I'm transitioning and I want to be like Rosa. So yeah, holy crumbs. Like, there was a character that I wanted to be like even pre-transition. You know? Like, oh my God. But yeah, the stream is going to end in about a few minutes. I'll be back here tomorrow for whatever this is. Whatever this whole thing is. My boyfriend is still asleep, and I'm going to go to sleep in a few minutes because this is longer than Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen, and people in between and my non-binaries. Like, I will be here tomorrow. Because the sun is coming up. And if the sun is coming up, this is no longer the early stream. It's just the early stream. And I don't want to lie to any of you, despite the fact that I will lie about my birthday and my age and my sign. I don't want to lie to a lot of you most of the time. My goodness. You have a good day too, Playdom. And honestly, again, if you need to talk, I'm going to be on Discord. You too, all of you have an amazing time. I will end the stream in 3 minutes. So what have we learned? I don't know. I do know that I have OC. I like doing these streams because I get to be myself in front of all of you. I get to wear whatever I want in front of you. Except on OnlyFans, in which case you're going to see a lot more of me. Yes, of course I think Drake is a bore. I think he's an overrated bore. A mistalented person who should not be the spokesperson for the Toronto Raptors. I don't even like basketball anymore, but I think that's a huge mistake. There's a guy who has been at every single Raptors home game ever since they were incepted. Why not let him be the spokesperson? Why Drake? Is it because he's popular? So I don't like Drake all that much, and I think that he should not have been. You have an OnlyFans? You'll have to find it. Everybody, thank you all for coming. So many things, so little time. But I will be back here tomorrow for something like this. Moonrose VT, I know you're not here, but thank you for the donation for the Trevor Project. Elo Maria underscore 0182, thank you for the follow. We are going to rate somebody who's playing Fallout New Vegas. Jaded. But until tomorrow, thank you all for coming. I don't know what this was about, but thank you all for coming to whatever this all is. And until tomorrow, I hope. I'm Kiara Strings. I'm a trans woman, and this is the early stream. Thank you, and have a good one. Maybe I could actually leak out my OnlyFans account. Maybe someday. Good luck finding it, though.